Hey Stampers, Rachel here from Rachthestamper.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really cute little box. So you can just close it with ribbon, like so. Or there also is a magnet closure. These are magnets that are actually from Amazon. They're really tiny. I believe they're 1/8 inch diameter. Yeah, 1/8. They're really, I don't know if you can even tell, they're super, super thin. So like this is one magnet. You see how tiny they are. So what you do is if you want to do a magnet, I actually will pull two of these off at the same time. I get two of them to come off. I'll put a glue dot on one, put it on the bottom, put a glue dot on the other one, and then place it so I know where I want it. So that's the easiest way to get them on there, is with the mini glue dots. So that's one thing that you can try. But this is a really easy gift box. You can fit candy in here. You can fit, I'll say lip gloss. I don't know, what, chapstick, I guess. It's a little too big for this. So if you were thinking of something with a tape runner, probably be just a little bit too big. I'm usually like more so myself like a candy person, candy, lip balm. I'm pretty sure I had some. Where did they go to? I was going to say I had some gift cards in here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you can fit gift cards in there for sure. So you can put a gift card in there with some candy maybe. But really fun, very simple, super easy to do. Now I used a couple different things for this. So this paper is, I always forget the name of this. I have my piece of paper here. Trying to wrangle this. I actually used two different papers. So for this, we're using the penguins. Is it like frozen? Hold on. I don't want to say frozen palace. Snowy Scenes. I was close. Not at all. So Snowy Scenes is the DSP that I used. And then I also used a piece of this is 12 by 12 glimmer paper. There's three different colors. There's purple. I honestly thought when I first ordered this that it was like our regular iridescent, but it's petal pink or peach. It's kind of a strange color, but it really goes with what I did. It's the 3-color glimmer paper. I think the other one is like a, what does it say it is? It says Pretty Peacock, but it really is like a super, it's very vivid. The colors are really, really good, which is nice, but it's not, this is not the color I thought it was, but it ended up working anyway, so that's good. But if you think it's champagne, it's not, just beware. So I use that for the background here, and I use this with the, I believe this is the Essential Nested Dies, if I'm right. Nested Essentials, close enough. So I use the second smallest for the background here, and then I use this pennant flag right here for the sentiment. So I already cut that in the background. And then the other thing you may notice is part of the Frozen Edges bundle. So I did Wishing You a Cozy Day. Snuggle Up and Hope for Snow will also fit into this. So you could use either one of those. But this has stamp set. This is a bundle. Stamp sets and dies. And these are really, really detailed. The snowflake dies, they're really pretty, but they're super detailed. So I'm still trying. I have another card that I wanted to do with that. I just haven't gotten to it. So I have some of these already cut because this is really just this little piece that's added on here. So it does take a little bit to get it to go back and forth and then a pokey tool, but it's not really that difficult. It comes out in a strip like this. And this is with really minimal things punched through. So to make this, move these things over. I'll show you what you need to do. So you need a, this is very old paper because I was going through some stuff and getting rid of some things, but you need a piece of paper that's 6.5 by 7.5. And I have some other pieces to show you, but I'm going to tell you how to score it before we get started, okay? So you're going to score on the, and I normally would get out my Simply Scored, but I figured you're good with that as long as I know on the 6.5 side. So on the 6.5 side, you're going to score it 1 inch on each side. So we'll just go 1 inch over here. And when I do boxes or any type of 3D item, I always try to flip it. That way I know it's uniform instead of moving back and forth, because I feel like that way it is definitely 100% even. So 1 inch on each side. And you're going to go to the 7.5 inch side. And you're going to score at 1.5, 2.5, And I'll make all the measurements for this on my blog. Pardon me. Four and 3/4 and 5 3/4. Okay. Then what you're going to do is fold and score on all score lines. Like so. And you do want to use your bone folder. Sorry, we have the cooties at school because, you know, we have preschoolers and they're always up in your business no matter what. It's a miracle more of them aren't getting each other sick because, you know, they're really all in each other's business. Okay, so you want to really ensure that your bottom flap is slightly larger. So this is the bottom. Okay, you can tell because this is just a little bit bigger. So the bottom flap is down here, and this is where we're going to trim. So we're going to trim, but this way we're going to trim here, and this we're getting rid of. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So if we were to X here and X here, and then this will cut down, miter, cut, cut. So I'm going to show you that, and then I'll show you what the finished product looks like. Actually, I'm going to show you before so you can see. This is what it's going to look like. Oh, let me show you one that doesn't have writing all over it. This is what it's going to look like. Okay. See that? So, let me show you. You just grab. Oh, my scissors are all intertwined. Okay, so this whole piece comes off. And try your best to keep it square. Okay, and then this you're going to cut down. And same thing, cut down. And when I tell you to miter cut, you kind of want to cut off the little ridge. So, cut in. Cut in. All right, and then you're going to cut straight. And straight, and we're going to give that just a little trim. Okay, and then same on this side. So straight, straight, cut in, just like so. Okay, so that's what it looks like now. All right, now you're going to go ahead and adhere your paper, or your DSP, not your paper. Okay, so it's going to go from looking like this, that's the outside, to looking like this. So this is where our adhesive will go. And this is the front of the box. So like so. These will go in like this. And it's going to close like that. Okay, so again, flip it over. So our designer series paper is going to go on here on the outside. I like to sometimes leave this so I know that this needs to be directional. This doesn't really matter. And these, if you cut them directional, but we're going to use a different piece. Okay, so you're going to need several pieces. So for the top up here, this piece here measures 4 3/8 across by 1 3/8. And then you're going to need a piece here, 4 3/8 by 1 5/8. Okay, so that'll be this piece and this piece. So I try to make something down here that's kind of neutral. And then this one could be a little bit more busy. And then you're going to put just a little piece on the top. That is 4 3/8 by 7/8 inches. So that'll go right here. And then 2 little strip pieces here, okay? These are both 7/8 inches by, I think it's 2 and 2/8. 2 2/8. Okay, so that's that. 2 2/8 by 7/8. Okay, and I will put all the measurements here. So here are the pieces that I cut. So we have this one and this one. And I used all of the paper in the other direction, so I had to go with something different. So we have snow globes. This is some very old Coordinations paper. You can probably tell that it's got some texture to it. And this, I just went with the outside. And actually, I think these need to be trimmed. I fibbled this up a little bit. They are just a little bit too long. I think they should only be 2 and 2/8. I think they're only supposed to be 2 1/8. Let me see. Let's see what they are measuring. Maybe I put 3/8. Nope, that's 2/8. It needs to be 1/8. 2 1/8. Well, I'm glad I caught it now. 2 1/8. And again, once I get the blog posted, I will put all this up for you. Okay, but everything else is correct. So now we're going to take some glue and we're going to put these down. The one thing about this is that it's very hard because the paper is really cute. So you kind of have to make a decision of what are you going to cut off. Now, had I been thinking, I probably would have centered that a little bit better, but I was just using the leftover. So remember, you're going to glue this one upside down because once you use it, it will be right side up. Okay. And then this one down here at the bottom. Okay. All right, so it's going to end up going again like this. Okay. So now we just need to put on some tear and tape. So we're going to put it on these flaps and these flaps. So just get, I've definitely gone through more of my tear and tape than I have in a while because we started doing 3D boxes again, which is really fun. I love doing 3D stuff. But you just want to make sure, especially if you have a toothy paper that you're working with, base for this, you really want to make sure you push in so the tape grabs and it really holds everything nice and secured for you. So what I usually do is I'll put it down and then I'll just push it with my bone folder. And again, when you do your scoring for this, make sure you use your bone folder because you want to be sure that it is really nicely creased. I'm going to put the cap on this for a minute. I should always bring my glasses up and I forget. So now what we're going to do is we're going to glue this first, and you want to make sure it's as square as possible. Then we'll take this off. So let me grab this, and if you have any that's a little bit long, you can just fold it over on itself because I did make them just a little bit longer than I wanted them. On the one side, these are okay. Okay, so again, we're bringing the front to this. So we want to really try to make sure that it's square along this bottom here, okay? So same thing, square along the bottom. And then what you can do is once you get it in, just take your bone folder and press. Okay, now this is the part I was saying was sticking up a little farther. So what I'll do is just pick this up. And just fold that over. And same here. Uh-oh, maybe I went too far on that one. Okay. And then same thing again, you're just going to fold this to the front. You want it to be nice and square. Looks like this drifted just a little bit farther down, so I probably should have centered this, but I think I should have my glasses on when I make cards. When I make any video nowadays, I really should have my glasses on, but denial. Okay, so I'm just pressing these with my bone folder. And then, as I said, if you want to put your magnet on, just put your glue dot, do those little mini magnets. But we're going to close this up a little bit differently for right now. Just get a couple of these things out of the way. So I am just going through, as you guys I'm sure have known, I'm just using some of my retired ribbon, trying to clear things out. So I'm going to take this, wrap it around like so. Do a little snip. That is, what is this even called? It's probably Petal Pink Organdy striped ribbon. Really great ribbon, but I don't think we carry that. This was in a 2-pack of ribbon that is definitely retired. Was just going through some of my stuff. Now, if you have issues with tying things, here's an idea for you. Now, granted, you might not want to use a clip quite this large, but if you grab your end and you clip it, and that could be your extra hand, and then, whoopsie, come on now. You're going to bring this around, and what I usually do is I'll make my little starter knot, okay? And I'm going to slide this down just a little bit so it's out of the way. And then I'll pull it and knot it. But what we want to do is we still have a couple things to do. So I'm just going to leave this like this for now. Okay. So I have my little piece. No, we'll use this one. My little piece that I want to fit on. And then I have 2 other things that I need to do. So I already cut this piece, but I need this other one. And I have, well, like I know I had them somewhere. Here's my die. So I have this little piece already cut out. This little, I don't even know what kind of shape you call this. Anybody have a good idea? I'm going to do Snuggle Up and Hope for Snow. So I'm going to put that on a block, and I'm going to stamp that onto Pool Party using Lost Lagoon ink. So let me just grab a little scrap of Pool Party. Do I have another piece here? Nope. Nope. So wrapped up in here. All right, I may have to cut another piece unless I can miraculously find it. Here it is. So this piece is here, and I just need a little scrap of Pool Party for my sentiment. So I'm going to just ink this up. Try to aim for the center. Nice. And run this through my die cut machine. Fits perfectly, just like so. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of liquid glue onto this and put it down and trim it off. So it's going to fit right on there. Okay. Make sure I got a little far. And I'll hold that for a second. And then we're going to put some dimensionals in the middle, which is going to go through the ribbon to the back of this. I just want to give that a second. Go straight across because you don't really need that many. And I'm going to just trim this. Okay, just like that. So it's going to go through like this. So what you kind of have to do is you kind of have to finish tying this to see where you want it to be able to slide the stuff on. So I'm going to pull this, and I'm just going to pull this through. And we'll neaten this up later. All right. So this is going to go under like that. And this is how I usually do it. Pardon me, I really am so sorry. So I'm going to put some liquid glue. Now you can do this the other way as well, because it will hold this in place, which is really what you're going for. And then this is going to sit on top of it. Now I know you have a little glue there that shows through, but I'm going to take these off. And you could also do this the other way. You could glue this to here and then put the dimensionals on the back of the other side. But that's kind of what we're going with. Now, it does take a moment to set, but now in the meantime, what we can do is really pull our ribbon tight and pull this tight to make sure it's held in there. And I'm going to go through and just trim these just a little bit. And there you go. Now, it'll take a minute. Like I said, the glue does dry clear. And that way, if you want to be able to move the stuff on and off, you can slide it up. But isn't this so fun? Really cute. Great for fitting in, like I said, gift card, a little bit of candy with it maybe. They do, you know, it will sit up. And I hadn't thought about it. You probably could, even if you wanted to, make this something that was vertical. If you changed your sentiment around. Maybe, and this one has been pulled off and on a lot, so you just kind of have to tighten it and give this another little tug. But super cute. I'm sorry, my family is making such a loud noise downstairs. God only knows what they're doing. Sounds like they're having fun. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you really enjoyed this. It's a really fun, simple box to make. Once you get it done once and you figure out how to cut it and you don't cut the wrong direction, super, super easy to make. Lots of fun. You can definitely, I'm sure, find lots of old paper and DSP to make so many of these and give them to all your family and friends. If you would like to get any of the supplies I used to make this project today, you can go to my online store by clicking in the link description below. Otherwise, if you haven't already, I would love for you to like, subscribe, follow, and share this with your friends. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And if you haven't already, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up on this video. It really helps to support me without spending a penny. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day.